Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Trudograd with me, BringItDon. Off camera, I went back to the hotel looking for this guy's missing book. I didn't see it anywhere. I even checked people's inventories like this. They don't care if you look, as long as you don't try to steal anything. I suspected the cook would have it in his inventory since he was acting a little suspicious about it, but he is not. So let's go see if we can't grab the stash this guy failed to get. I looked at my previous recording to see the path that he took. And then I noticed that he leaves his footprints behind, so we don't actually need to memorize the path. We just need to follow where his footprints go. You see, warning, mine sign. There are mines here. I need to be careful. Alright, I don't see... A tooth collection. A glass jar filled to the brim with golden teeth. That's something, all right. Yeah, that is something. Alright, well, let's back out of here. Alright, cool. Alright, we still have a lot of people to talk to. We're going to take our time and do that. So we'll head back down here and... What were there last time? I looked around this... Oh, there's a building over here I didn't check out. Ain't something we can sell. It's not a lot, but it's more than we currently have, so... Alright, let's go talk to these people right outside the gate. We'll start with this guy, I think. The mysterious gray-haired man is skillfully juggling an entire deck of cards in the air. The trick is so beautifully executed that it leaves you stunned for at least half a minute. As you come closer to the magician, the magician shoots you with a piercing look, quickly assembles his cards back into a deck. Without looking, draws 4 of them. Shows you they're all 10s in Pat's pocket. The mute trickster is clearly telling you he'll show you a special trick for 40 rubles. Hello, can you answer a couple of questions for me? The man presents a deck of cards and gestures for you to shuffle it. He watches you while checking his watch and nodding impatiently. He's reminding you that time is money, and you're not impressing him enough to spend it. Fine. Really show me one of your tricks. Winking at you playfully, the magician shuffles the deck and he invites you to pick a card. You draw an 8 of diamonds. As you return the deck, he tears your card into pieces and throws them up in the air. And the street artist gestures with a magic wand, blows air into your face, and gestures you to feel behind your ear. Mine eyes do deceive me. The feeling of respect and find a card. What? With the feeling of respect and find a card. You take the card in disbelief, and you see that it's an 8 of diamonds. Oh, it's really something. Let's you and I talk for a bit. Alright, that's the best I can do. The heck with it. I gotta get going. As you turn to leave, a fat man who's been watching the performance from afar runs up to you. He puts his arm around you and pulls you aside, eyeing the performer suspiciously. Hey, listen, buddy. Help an aspiring magician out. Okay, how can I help? This is about Amadeus Telerov, the one whose trick you just paid to see. I've been watching him for God knows how long, trying to figure out the secret to his signature trick, the one he calls the infant regalia. Alright, but what does that have to do with me? This Telerov is a weird guy. You're only allowed to watch him perform this trick once. That's his rule. I saw it myself, and didn't quite get the very last part, but maybe you can. I'll give you 100 rubles. That's how much it costs to see this trick. Then you tell me what you saw. Why do you need me to do that? My card tricks and sleight of hand are my passion. I even left my job to become a famous magician. The problem is, though I know a lot of the secrets of the trade, none of them are going to make me famous. If I knew how to perform the infant regalia, I could get hired anywhere. Come on, do it. Here's the money. Fine, I'm trying to find out what the trick is about. Here's 100. I'll pay you another 100 or even more when you tell me what his secret is. Remember, ask Amadeus to show you a trick called the infant regalia. And all you have to do is figure out how he does it. And then I, the great Arthur Penkin, become a real master of magic. Nod and leave. I'm assuming I'm going to have to have a certain amount of attention. And I doubt that I have enough for it. So we'll try it. A silent magician known as Amadeus Telerov takes a little break from juggling and entertaining the passersby and looks you in the eyes. Show me your infamous trick, the so-called infant regalia.
The man takes your money and with a smile rubs his hands together as if anticipating your reaction to his magnificent trick. He takes off his coat to reveal a thin white shirt, probably to show you that he has nothing hidden up his sleeves. He passes you the coat and you tuck it under your left arm. Then the magician shows you a sealed deck of cards and points at your forehead as if asking you to imagine a card. Any card. The card you imagine is an ace of spades. Amadeus then takes 2 more decks from his pants pocket, opens all 3, mixes all the cards together, and starts shuffling them in the most entertaining and skillful of ways.
Alright, I closely observe his technique.
No matter how hard you focus, the entertainer's motions are too quick to follow. Perhaps Telerov's masterful trick can only be understood by another professional magician.
You're pretty good, but can you slow it down for me?
The magician laughs at your words, all the while shuttling the cards from hand to hand in a blur. With inhuman dexterity, he throws the cards into the air and catches them one by one, or drops them in a cascade into a hand behind his back. He spits cards from his mouth, pulls them from his pants, from behind your ears, from your boots, and even from your nostrils. In the midst of this card storm, a loud cackling sounds from somewhere above. A huge raven flies down from the cloudy sky, clutching yet another card in his black beak. With a raucous caw, the bird spits it out, and it falls directly into the magician's outstretched palm. He smugly displays the card, and it's an ace of diamonds. Unfortunately, not the card you imagined.
Such an absurd trick. Alright, top juggling skills, mate. Really fancy work. That's not the card I was thinking of.
The seemingly devastated magician stares sheepishly down at his feet, hides the ace of diamonds, and gestures for you to return his coat. You try to do just that, but the very blood freezes in your veins as you realize you no longer are holding the man's coat. Instead, there's a pile of loose cards pinned under your arm. As you raise your hands in amazement, they all drop to the ground face up. Every card in that pile is an ace of spades.
Yeah, praise the magician.
You try to speak, but instead choke and cough up an ace of spades, which somehow got into your mouth. You give a shudder and a huge stack of cards atop your head drops with a flutter at your feet. Of course, all of these cards is an ace of spades too. You indistinctly jump back as the cards burst into flames for no reason whatsoever. The flames die as quickly as they flared up, leaving nothing but ashes. Shocked to your core, you look frightfully up at the magician, only to notice that he's wearing his coat, as if he had never taken it off in the first place.
So goofy. And that's quite the trick. Why is it called an infant regalia?
Amadeus Telerov shrugs his shoulders, as if there's no answer to your question, but his sly eyes are shining like gemstones in the reddish light of the morning star.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the show. I'm gonna go now. Well, that was something. A middle-aged woman with an impressive bouffant of gray hair is watching the silent magician perform, mouth agape in amazement. Interesting show, huh? Very much so. Maestro Telerov is a unique talent. I heard he was coming to Trudograd. I started watching out for him every day. Now I never miss a performance. I see. Could you answer a few questions? The woman turns to you and smiles. I'm sorry. I'm a bit busy right now. I'm sure some other citizen would be glad to help you out. Maybe you're right. Sorry for bothering you. An imposing woman in a mink coat and fashionable fur-trimmed boots is watching the silent magician perform. From time to time, she throws a coin or two his way. Interesting show, huh? Ah, quite. Comrade Telerov's fame is raging across the wastes, like an entertainment plague. Hey there, helping that poor bastard out with a bit of cash? Indeed. I do my best to support those few real artists left in this topsy-turvy world. Even such a lowly craft as card trickery has my support. I need to spend the money I earned in the weapons trade on something, after all. I see. Bye now. A skinny young man is watching the silent magician's performance with great interest. He seems to be shivering from the cold. Now, why are you standing out here in the cold? Can you go inside a bar or something and warm yourself? I'd be glad to, but the thing is my boss has friends in most of the bars or taverns, and they'll rat me out if I go inside. I'm supposed to be working right now. Now, who's your boss? The kid looks at you distrustfully for a moment, but it quickly fades. One dude from Guangzhou. I'm his personal courier. Funny part is, he doesn't know Trudograd too well. I deliver all his correspondence in a couple of hours, and spend the rest of my day out here, so he won't load me with more work. Are you enjoying the performance? Maestro Telerov is not your average sideshow performer. His tricks will make anyone believe in magic. Uh-huh. We talked for a while. I can't even talk right. What? Oh, I can't even talk right in this cold. Nice, suit yourself. I gotta go. Alright. Rubbing his hands and licking his lips, Arthur Penkin continues to stare at the magician. He nods at you without taking his eyes off the show. I care to answer some questions. Ask away. As you agreed to help me, why wouldn't I answer your questions? Now, what's your name, my man? I already told you my name. Arthur. Arthur Penkin. What do you do for a living? Let's get one thing straight. I'm not unemployed. The unemployed are a burden on society. They got themselves fired and are wasting the taxpayers' money. I, on the other hand, left my job to practice magic. To perform. I have a dream, get it? I'm a magician at heart. A maestro. What can you tell me about Trudograd? It's a cultural capital. I'm unsure what it's the capital of, but it's cultural, that's for sure. As soon as I learn the secrets of the famous magicians, I'll become a star. All the fat cats will fight for the chance to see me perform. They'll throw turnips and piles of money at my feet, as if I were an exotic dancer. I know any good gossip. I heard that before the war, there was a project to build some kind of mega cannon here in Trudograd. I wonder if it still exists. And if it does, is it possible to fire it? That'd be something to see. Alright, I watched him perform the trick, but I can't understand how he did it. Penkin lets out a loud moan and buries his face in his hands. I've heard the same answer before, from at least 20 other people I hired, just like you, squandering my last kopecks. What the heck is it about this trick? Why is it impossible to crack? When I ask him myself, I'm sick of waiting. If he's willing to explain it to me, great. If not, so be it. Alrighty then. Hey, Telerov, can you hear me? Over here. What's your secret? How do you do it? Well, he's gonna tell you, man. Tell me, your name isn't Telerov for nothing. Don't be so selfish. I want to be successful like you. I want to be your apprentice. Alright, well, we'll leave him to it. How is it okay that Vasilkov, B.Y., Chimney Sweep, and Known Scoundrel... Oh, I can't read that fast enough out loud. I'll take a peek up here. Sometimes there's secrets to be found, like underneath rocks or stumps and stuff like that. It's worth taking a quick look around. Just to make sure we don't miss anything. We'll go back, we'll talk to the people in this camp over here. I'm not complaining, but I need some help. Alright, well, see what I can do for you. As soon as the bent old man sees you, he croaks like a sick frog, slaps himself on the knee, and beams with joy. Howdy, stranger. Can you perhaps give an old man a hand? Help Gurion the ruffian. Sure, what's the trouble? Old Gurion rubs his hands and extracts a battered portable radio from the deep folds of his clothes. It's totally dead, knackered, non-functioning, kaputski. I can't listen to the news or the weather. This old man has been deprived of his one and only joy in life. Perhaps you can fix it. I can make it worth your while. Hee hee. Wait. First I want to ask you some questions. You're a good man. I could see that at once. You want to distract old Gurion from his woes with a friendly chat. But you see, I'm more of a listener. Ahem. A radio listener. Right. Hand it over and I'll see what I can do. When I first saw you, I thought to myself, this disheveled thug is going to rob a defenseless old man. Gosh darn it. But my second thought was, perhaps I'm wrong and he'll offer to help me with my radio. Now the prophecy is fulfilled. Here, take a look. Gently now. With a mischievous smile, the old man hands you his ancient portable radio. Examine the radio. You thoroughly examine the little radio, even check the batteries, but with no result. You have no idea what the problem is. Alright, try to fix the portable radio without any replacement parts. You tinker with the malfunctioning device for a while, but fail to make it work even for a second. The disappointed old man gives you an accusing look. Sorry, old man. I have to go now. Maybe I'll take a look at it some other time. Yeah, I don't have the required skills for that. But clutching his head in his hands and staring down at his feet, this man is obviously wallowing in unhappy thoughts. Hello, comrade. The man sitting in front of the tent smiles sheepishly as you approach. They're trying to decide what to expect. Friendly conversation, or a mean-spirited sucker punch. But what's the story, Morning Glory? But why the long face, man? Things haven't been working out for me lately, and the reason behind it is so stupid, I'm ashamed to even mention it. I've seen so much stupid stuff in my life. Nothing surprises me anymore. Tell me your problem, and maybe I can help. When I first came to Trudograd, I had a small fortune saved. The nature of that fortune was a little unusual, but still. The man scratches the back of his head before looking directly into your eyes. I had a jar full of gold teeth. These little beauties are useful in all kinds of situations, like to pay off a bar tab, or as bribes for corrupt officials. I kept the jar in my tent. One day, while drunk, I decided to hide it, in a really unfortunate place. Where'd you get a whole jar of gold teeth? I found them. I dug them up. I got them from people's graves. Come on. Don't act like you've never thought about doing it yourself. You know what people are capable of when they've lost all hope. It's not like I murdered anyone. The dead have no use for those teeth anyway. Where there's a will, so where did you lose them? Out in the minefield. Yeah, what the heck are you talking about? It's the truth. When I was plastered, it seemed like a great way to keep it safe. I don't know how I survived the walk there and back. The The proverbial drunkard's luck, I guess. But now I'm too scared to go get it again. And I don't want to test the old liquid courage twice in a row. Maybe you can help me out. I can tell that you're an adventurer, or whatever the word for an unemployed wanderer. Okay. How much are you going to pay me for your teeth? I think I'd scrape up 100 rubles. What do you say? Okay, I hope you retrieve your ghoulish collection. Exit the main gate and take a quick right. The minefield is at the foot of the wall, on this side. Thank you so much. Yes, but now answer some questions for me. Why not? Ask away. Who are you, by the way? I am Babushkin the refugee. Other than that, there is nothing noteworthy about me. What's with all the tents? They belong to refugees from the north. Even if a person could afford an apartment in Trudograd, it's impossible to get a permit to buy one. And sleeping in the city streets is way worse than sleeping out here. In the city, if the mobsters don't kill you, the cops definitely will. Or you could get sold into slavery. How do you like Trudograd? It's a mighty city. I don't think I've ever seen the like, even before the war. And after the war, I forgot cities like that exist. Its walls literally touch the sky. All the houses are skyscrapers. The city is crowded with people. As soon as I earn enough money, I'm going to buy an apartment in Trudograd. There. Heard any tasty rumors lately? Apparently some pervert kidnapped 2 guys who came here from the north in search of a better life. I don't like to listen to such stories. Our lives are complicated enough. Why make them even harder? So I have his teeth. How much are they worth? Because it won't tell me unless I try to sell them elsewhere. The gloomy man who asked you to fetch his jar of teeth from the minefield looks hopefully up at you, as if he already knows you've recovered his treasure. You guessed correctly. I want to talk to you about your stash. I'm all ears. Man, I could keep them. Do I want to be honest? I don't know. I misspoke. Let's talk later. I want to see how much those are worth elsewhere before I give them to him. Let's see. Oh, there she is. A blue-eyed woman is pacing in a short circuit, cooing softly to the baby held close to her chest. Having noticed, rather sense your presence, she squints and smiles with poorly concealed anger. What are you looking at? Are you a crook sent by his so-called father to harass me? Nobody sent me. Who's this father you're talking about? The woman is so surprised by your question, she almost drops her baby. At the very last moment, she recovers her fumble and pulls him back to her chest. The baby doesn't cry or otherwise react. So you don't know. You don't know anything about this rat fornicator or any of the corrupt officials protecting him. Then you're probably wondering why a breastfeeding mother is sitting in the dirt outside the city gates while her son's so-called father is living the life of obscene luxury behind its blood-stained walls. Luxury, you say? Who's paying for that? Whose money is he wasting? You're surprised to see the woman pull a fat, hand-rolled cigarette from her pocket and light up while awkwardly clutching her baby under one arm. She's blowing smoke right into her son's face, but the baby remains silent as he continues her story. His poor child's of course. Vasilkov B.Y., that pathetic bum, is a chimney sweep in the scrap quarter. He tricked me into having sexual intercourse with him. Now I have a son. The bastard refuses to help me. Instead, he's spending my son's birthright bribing the cops so they won't let us into the city. Take a closer look at the woman's still silent baby. You're leaning forward with a squint to examine the tightly bundled child. There's nothing unusual about the baby other than his strange indifference to everything going on around him. I wonder if it's a fake baby, like it's like a doll. What did he lie about? He lied about his many diagnoses. He failed to mention that he is a sociopath who fears commitment and harbors pathological hatred for his own family. Maybe I can help you. He said he lives in this... Or you said he lives in the scrap quarter. The woman's lower lip begins to tremble violently. Oh, would you really do that for us? Maybe. Did you hear what the nice man said? He's going to help us. Thank you. Perhaps you aren't like the rest of these city-dwelling degenerates after all. Please, find that gosh darn con man and bring him to justice. I'll see what I can do. See you soon. Wait, what? A nervous woman holding a diaper-wrapped turnip to her chest nods at you and smiles faintly. It looks like she's on the verge of tears. A diaper-wrapped turnip. So do we recognize it's a turnip now? That might be an oversight. So regarding your question... Alright, we don't have information yet. Would you be so kind as to answer some questions for me? You've come to help me. That is so rare in this lawless world, where chimney sweeps are alpha predators. We're all just lambs trembling and kneeling before the bloodthirsty scum. Go ahead. Ask. What can you tell me about yourself? Well, let me see. I'm in ruins. Morally and financially. To think my mother warned me of this very fate. That the bastard would do nothing but torture me. My mom was right. She was so right. What do you do for a living? Every day I come here with my son, hoping that one of these cops on my so-called hubby's payroll will show some human decency and let us into the city. Every night I return home empty-handed. Tell me what you know about the city. Trudograd's super neat, especially if you know the right people to cover up crimes you've committed, ranging from insulting your wife and son to dodging your obligations to your own flesh and blood. I wholeheartedly recommend Trudograd as a great place for all kinds of scum-sucking, flint-hearted bastards. I know any good gossip. My son told me this in confidence. He said, I'm lucky my mom loves me because some mothers give their children away to rich people. They take the kids into a room with red lights and loud jazz music, loud enough to drown out the sounds of screaming. Okay, well let's get away from her for now. I think she might be a little off her rocker. Let's map out this direction. Right, so she does care if I steal her stuff. A tall blonde woman assesses you with her deep blue eyes that shows a shy yet beautiful smile. She looks very tired, perhaps worried. Hey there, are you looking for my husband? He's at the market right now. I can chat with you instead if you want to. Noted. What's bothering you though? You look worried. The woman looks away with a sad smile, starts nervously twining a lock of hair around one finger. You won't believe this. Even my husband doesn't believe it. Whenever he's out of the house at night, some entity, tortures me all night long and won't let me sleep. An entity, huh? Go on. The woman looks around as if fearing the creature might appear, before continuing in a husky whisper. It's a devil with horns and cloven hooves. The Snooze No More Devil, it's called where I'm from. And that's when my husband is out of town. The monster appears in my room and starts tormenting me. Just shoot the little bugger as he enters the room. In my experience, this solution applies to many different problems. What an original piece of advice. For your information, when the Snooze No More Devil starts its rampage, I cannot get out of bed or even move to defend myself. As if my body still sleeps while my brain is wide awake. How could I shoot anything in such a condition? I was thinking I'd ask that drunk who guards the parking lot to watch me sleep, but I doubt my husband would understand. I must continue to bear this cross alone. Something to think about. We talk about something else now. Okay, what else is on your mind? Let me ask you a few questions. Why not? Ask away. Tell me about yourself. I'm a northern girl. My husband still worked for Guangzhou Caravans. His millennium-old entrepreneurial dignitary's truck broke down at my village near the faraway city of Omsk. That's how we met. By the time the truck was fixed, me and Demian had fallen in love. I left everything behind and went with him to Trudograd. Millennium-old entrepreneurial dignitary. Isn't that a little pompous for some merchant? It's a cultural thing, I suppose. All Guangzhou caravaneers have very specific titles, representing their rank and experience. From lowest to highest, they go like this. Neon, noble artisan, wise scrivener of invoices, sage of taxation lore, who is yet unequal to the sky, fledgling noble entrepreneur, venerable noble entrepreneur. The blonde starts counting on her fingers. Centennial noble entrepreneur, millennium old entrepreneurial dignitary of great fortune, who is barely unequal to the sky, and millennium old entrepreneurial dignitary, who is in all ways equal to the sky. However, there is still one higher rank to rule them all. The enlightened antediluvian entrepreneurial dignitary, whose worth allows him to exceed the sky, but whose gift of supreme modesty does not allow him to acknowledge it. Whew. Anyway, you get the picture. Guangzhou is a somewhat conservative organization. They ascribe a lot of importance to titles and traditions. Now, what do you do? I do all manner of housework. I cook, I wash, I clean. Damien sometimes asks if I'd like to help with the bookkeeping at the market, but I like what I do just fine. I've tried every sort of job and housework suits me best. Now, what do you know about Trudograd? You've been living by the wall like we do. It's still safer and drier than anywhere else, especially during flood season. In my home village, me, my mom, and grandpa always lived in terror of a bandit raid, but here I can finally be at peace, during the day at least. Any hot rumors to share? Nobody's ever asked me for a rumor, but okay. I didn't see it myself. I heard that the rich topside residents use special lifts for themselves. They don't have to walk on the same stairs as the plebs, as they call us. That's why all the elevators are rigged to only open on the first and the top floor. Alright, so did we get a quest for... Or I don't think so. Let's try and come back here at night. Try and commit that to memory. I think over here we can talk to. I'm going to call the episode here. The next one we'll speak to this old man and continue over here, work our way to the market. All of these houses on the eastern side. Yeah, just keep making our way to the city. There's going to be a lot of talking and reading in this Let's Play. I think this entire expansion takes place in a city, so there's a lot of people to speak to. But most of them give quests or experiences, you can see here. It's always fruitful talking to them. Like, yeah, reading dialogue is a huge part of this game. Anyway, gonna call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.